This video is sponsored by Surfshark, the best VPN on the market. Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to change your location to access websites in other countries and keep you safe and secure from hackers. Using Surfshark, we here in Ireland can access other countries' Netflix libraries or other streaming platforms like DAZN in Spain for all those important Premier League games. Surfshark keeps you safe and private by protecting everything you do online. Everything. When your device connects to the internet, all that information is, in a way, blurred out. Surfshark is particularly useful for keeping you safe from being hacked if you use public Wi-Fi. Let's say you're in a cafe, you're at college, you're out and about, they've got you covered. Surfshark allows you to use one subscription on unlimited devices, meaning you can share your account with friends or family or that neighbour who's a little bit cheap. On top of all of this, Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can also upgrade to Surfshark One, which includes the VPN, an alert system for breaches related to your data such as emails and credit cards, and an antivirus software for your desktop. Our sign-up offer gives you Surfshark VPN for a little over €2 a month and you'll get an additional 3 months free. Simply scan the QR code on screen right now or use the link in the description and enter the code Anfield Agenda at checkout. It's Craig, it's Dane. I think we should sign a young centre-back, one to replace Verge, but if we sign an older one like Kim Min-jae, would be fine to grow Jarell Quansah. Now I think we need what you've said, mate. We need a relatively young centre-back, and there was 3 good names put out today on The Athletic, and I'm going to go through them and ask you guys what you think about them. So I'll go through them in the order that I have them here in my notes. The first player that was listed on The Athletic as an option that Liverpool could or should look at in January was Edmund Tupsoba of Bayer Leverkusen. So they say he's 24 years of age. His contract expires at Leverkusen in June 2028. He's a young centre-back who would suit Liverpool's style, according to The Athletic. He's playing well for Bayer Leverkusen, and he's a player whose profile stood out in the data as being more readily available in the summer. So, like I've said all along about Leverkusen, I don't expect Xabi Alonso to be selling anybody in the January market, particularly with, the title race that they're in themselves and, of course, the Europa League. So, Tapsoba is one name mentioned, and I've got to be honest with you, I've watched a bit of Hincapié, but I've never really paid attention to Tapsoba. You guys have mentioned his name to me on a couple of occasions, so let me know, do you think he's good enough or not? And what type of price tag do you think we'd be talking about if indeed Liverpool were looking at him? Ryan, thank you for the super chat, sir, said, I don't think we sign anybody. Like Klopp would say, this is how it is. I get that. I understand that, Ryan. But Maybe I am impatient. Maybe I'm a bit of a pain in the backside. But I don't think it's a sensible strategy not to give us every opportunity to win the league this year. And look, I'm also not foolish enough to believe that any signing you bring in is absolutely guaranteed going to hit the ground running and make a big impact. But it gives us cover and it gives us a chance. So if we don't do anything in January, and heaven forbid we pick up an injury, and we're short again, and we're scrounging around, and we lose the league by a point or two, and have a couple of games where we played poorly, it's not going to take too much for us to think back about what could have been again. And I don't want another what could have been. I don't want to lose another title to Manchester City by a point or two. Those days have been and gone, and we haven't learned our lessons from them. We didn't learn our lessons from the Ben Davies, Ozan Kabak situation. We didn't learn our lessons from the Arthur Melo situation. And on one of those years, we got away with it, with Alisson Becker's header against West Brom. Another year, we didn't get away with it, and we ended up in the Europa League this year. So, I don't understand why it's always for the future with us. Sometimes there's titles to be won right now. So, moving on to another centre-back in this link, it's Antonio Silva. Now, I don't know how on earth Chelsea are able to be thinking about signing this kid at €100 million. I don't understand how Todd Boehly and Chelsea have any wiggle room at all, but they've been linked with him. His contract at Benfica expires in 2027. He's been a big part of their defence this season, which has conceded just 10 goals in the first 15 matches. He's 20 years of age, and he is one of the greatest talents at centre-back in Europe, in my opinion. And not just in my opinion, I think in Guardiola's opinion, and many other top managers. I don't really think it's realistic for Liverpool to spend that much money. I don't think we need to spend that much money. So I'm not just, being greedy here and wanting the best of everything. I just think we need a good quality, potentially left-sided centre-back to cover, to allow Verge to rotate, to make sure that if Gomez is needed in other positions and full-backs that we can utilise him there. And I don't think that's unrealistic, particularly after what happened with Joel Matip. Brian, thank you, Brian. He's gifted 20 Anfield Agenda memberships. Very kind as always, Brian. Thank you, mate. Jack Howe said, it depresses me the way whenever we're linked to a star, people just laughed. FSG have made us look like a laughing stock. Despite success, the little guy. So some people would say that you're just ungrateful, Jack. I disagree with them. I agree with you. I don't think we act like a top club enough. I don't understand it. We have this mindset where we're always told how brilliant the club are doing, how we're performing commercially, and what new sponsorship deals and stuff that the club have brought in, and that they're increasing the Annie Road end, and that will increase attendances, and la. But yet we never have a shilling. We're always crying poor mouth somewhere. And I understand that we aren't a Chelsea or we aren't a Real Madrid. But as by that I mean we don't just spend stupid, obscene amounts of money. But nobody can tell us we don't have the money. And I don't believe for 1 second that there isn't a centre-back in Europe or elsewhere that could help us and that could be a longer-term vision for Klopp as well. I don't believe it. And the last one on this link as well from The Athletic is Ousmane Diomande from Sporting. They say, similar to Benfica, his Sporting title challenge is built on a core of good young players, Inacio being one, of course, another teammate. They said they previously profiled Inacio. The Ivory Coast international moved to the Danish club Midland in January 2020. His displays on loan at Portuguese side Mafra during the early part of 22-23 caught Sporting's attention, and they requested Midland end his loan spell early, and then they signed him and he became a first team player. Diomande, I'm saying. Now, again, I don't know much about Diomande, but he's playing in the defence with Inacio, so maybe you guys have kept an eye on him. What about Itakura? So, I did look into Itakura. He's the guy at Borussia Mönchengladbach, right? If I'm not mistaken. We have sent scouts to Mönchengladbach this season. We've been looked at Kone. Manu Kone has been a name that's been linked with us. And the only time I've really seen, is it Itakura, is that his name, come up was when Fabrizio mentioned to keep an eye on that situation. I don't know too much about the kid. But, look, between us here, since this stream has started, I feel like we've named 7 or 8 centre-backs. So this myth that nobody's available, that might be what we're spun, is again just nonsense. Players are available. Clubs are willing to sell. And if anything, we've seen in this window, in the reporting, that a lot of top clubs are struggling financially and are looking at loan options. This should be the type of window where Liverpool truly look to capitalise on our good FFP position and the struggles of other clubs to be able to free up finances. We should be looking to make hay while the sun shines here, in my opinion. Jack again said, what's crazy is we only make 10 million more per season or less per season than Madrid, so the idea we don't have that kind of money is absolute nonsense. Just FSG apologists. Mahmood said, so potentially Craig will rely on an injury-prone centre-back, a youngster that might be overplayed, and hope versatile Gomez can be fit for the whole season. Well, I'm going to put in a poll to give you guys your chance to have a say on this situation. So 1 second. The question is, do we need, and I've capitalised the word need because I want to make sure that you know how serious I'm about need, not can we do it. Do we need a centre-back in January? Yes or no? Poll is up. Have your say. Brian said, I'm with your take, Craig, on winning now, especially when we're in a good position to win the league and some cups. Also, what are you wearing with the cheaters colours? Look at it though, it's gorgeous on me. You know, I know, I battle this myself, Brian. I look in the mirror and I go, that's Man City's colours, Craig. But then another part of me goes, you look cute in baby blue though, so baby blue won. I don't know what the mentality is, Brian, that, as somebody in the chat said, it feels like we're almost browbeaten at times into accepting the status quo at the club. Like, Klopp has 2.5 years to run. That's all we know guaranteed we have left of Jurgen. And so far, under Jurgen's leadership, we've had one of every trophy, which is brilliant. But we could have more. And, we often get told that things like Liverpool Football Club exists to win trophies. Well, then let's win the trophies. And let's win the trophies by actually going out there and attacking the league and trying to win it and not hoping. Because I feel like that's what's going on right now. We're in a situation where we're hoping for a lot of things to go our way. But it's football. These things never go your way. You're going to pick up more injuries. You're going to have players suspended. We're going to have to, in my opinion, if we're serious, we're going to have to attack this transfer window and bring in the right person.